Get into what happened to Matt Sluka at UNLV. 4-year starter at Holy Cross, or played 4 years. Transferred to UNLV. They got off to a 3-0 start, ranked 23rd in the AFCA coaches poll. First time UNLV, running Rebels, football programs, been in top 25 of any major poll
ever.
And this kid left the team.
Yeah.
Stunning to see what come out. He basically explained it. Hey, and what we're seeing we don't know the truth. It's stuff coming from the UNLV side through sources, stuff coming from Matt Sluka and sources. Basically, UNLV told Sluka, transfer here. An offensive coordinator allegedly said, we will give you $100,000 in NIL money and you will get it done. He gets there. All of a sudden, his agent, his family's told it'll be installed payments of $3,000 a month for 4 months. He got one payment out of signing in August. It stopped there. And he said, look, you told me $100,000. I'm only getting $3,000. Literally 3%. I'm out. This is insane. And then you see where Saluka's dad says Barry Odom told him the offer isn't valid because it didn't come from him. Saluka's dad told someone that Barry Odom told him. That's why I'm not going to get into the minutia. But this is part of what NIL is. It's not contracts. No. It's verbal agreements. It is third parties where, hey, come here. We have all these sponsors lined up. We have New Balance in Boston. They'll give you $50K. We have another company in Boston, Car Gurus. They'll give you $20K just to wear their polo on game days.
Right.
But it's not in writing, it's not in contract, and that's what this opens up to. It's insane where he's looking at a team, 3-0, we can make the college football playoff. I'm balling my ass off playing the best football in my life.
Yeah.
But he going, I'm stepping back because if I play that 5th game, I lose all my eligibility, and I think I could get paid one more year. This is interesting to see for Matt Sluka and all of college football right now, Keegan.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is the NCAA, when they made the decision, or when the government made the decision that NIL was going to become legal and the NCAA didn't really have a say in it, they went, all right, our hands are off. It's not our problem. You guys have to figure it out. And what do you do with a bunch of 19 to 25-year-olds telling them to figure out their own money? This is the stuff that happens.
Yeah.
We saw early in NIL where these guys were signing contracts, not even reading them, and then come to find out that all 5% of all future earnings now goes to the NIL collective that gave them money. They had to outlaw that, right? Like everybody had to kind of come back down to earth and think, all right, we can't have these kids just out there signing contracts because they get a big fat check in the mail. We're going to have verbal agreements, and it'll be through NIL collectives that the team set up, the organizations, the schools set up for these players. And this is what happens, where you tell somebody, we're going to give you this amount of money, and then you don't give them that money, and then you're 3-0. You're about to go to the college football play. Have a very real shot at going to the college football playoff with the 12-team playoff and the way the rules are set up, and he leaves the program because, let's say, Arizona State, who he happened to follow their head coach on Twitter, is going to offer him more money to come play next year in his last year of eligibility. It's the NCAA's fault that it even got to this point because they were so defeated in the fact that they had to actually pay these athletes, or that these athletes were going to get paid, that they just went hands off.
Yeah.
It's a black mark on NCAA as a whole and on college football, because really seeing a player, he's not completely off the hook here. Seeing a player leave his team after a 3-0 start and, the best start that they've ever had in program history, it sucks. It's not what college sports is about. But I guess whatever college sports is about now is never what it was before.
It's completely different. It's all changing.
Yeah.
And he's going to his team saying, hey, guys, love you guys. Busting my ass for y'all. You got us top 23. I'm out. And it's because of money. That's what modern day college sports is.
Yeah.
That's why you see coaches fleeing.
Yeah, I mean, we
go to the NFL.
We talk about it all the time with even coaches leaving one program to go to the other. Like Jimbo Fisher won a national championship at Florida State, and then 4 years later he leaves to go to Texas A&M because guess who has the most money to pay their coaches? Texas A&M. What's wrong with the players doing it?
Exactly.
Jimbo got crap. Florida State.
But Jimbo has eligibility. He doesn't have an expiration.
Right, exactly.
That's even the advantage he has. He can collect that money at the college level as long as he wants.
I'll give you this. Jaden Daniels, when he transferred to LSU from Arizona State, his teammates were packing his stuff and throwing it in trash bags, saying some pretty rude things about him as a player. And what does he do? He goes...
Wins a Heisman.
One of the 3 best quarterbacks in the history of the program, wins a Heisman, number 2 overall pick. Yep. So these players, they're being obviously advised by these agents and whoever about what's right for them, and sometimes what's right is making a really crappy decision in the moment, and then it comes back and it helps you later. Matthew Sluka, if let's say he goes to Arizona State next year, if he didn't redshirt he wouldn't have a year of eligibility. He wouldn't be able to go to a bigger program on a bigger stage to perhaps show himself off in front of with NFL talent and in front of NFL scouts. So it's a business decision. College football was never a business, they like to say, before a couple of years ago, but it's always been that way, and now the players have a say. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the players having a say.
Maybe Sluka at best should have played one more game. He would have hit 4, not 5.
Yeah.
Give a little more tape for ASU and then go. Also, you bring all this up. The one person that isn't mentioned, like Matt Sluka, better look at his agent and go, you're fired. Like,
absolutely.
You didn't get me that contract.
Absolutely.
Like this stuff should have been in writing. I think that should be the base for like anything you do in life. You do a handshake agreement with your friend, that's fine. I mean, that's up to you. I'm not saying every single thing needs to be transactional, but with a side where you know it is a business. We're bringing you in for you to win games. You're coming here, so we'll pay you, and maybe you make it to the NFL. There should be a contract there. I'm getting paid. Who's it coming from? Like that. Those are the questions that should have been asked. And before you commit, before you move all your stuff out to Las Vegas,
from Worcester, Massachusetts, of all places,
right? No, and I agree. Like, I'm all for the players in this. I'm happy they finally get paid because in a guy like Matt Sluka's case,
right,
his athletic prime is right now.
He might never make this kind of money for the rest of his life.
Exactly. He needs to capitalize to go to a school that'll pay him $100,000 to $120,000, whatever it could be. Get that money now. If he becomes a practice squad player, maybe you're making that much. Maybe if he becomes a practice squad player.
And that's a long shot.
Before he makes anything in life, get this money now. That's what he's doing. Jimbo Fisher, you point out, all these coaches are doing the same. Brian Kelly, to dip on Notre Dame without saying anything, to go to LSFNU, he's getting the most money he can. It's nasty work. It looks bad on Sluka. We'll see what the truth comes out. But I'm not going to knock a kid for just trying to get paid and set himself up for some success down the road when every damn head coach in college does the same thing. Every AD does the same thing. It's a money business. You're not a good athletic director because you hire a good coach. You're a good athletic director because you build all these new facilities and get all these donors to come in. I'm not going to knock a kid for doing that. The NCAA, for once, going hands off. If Sluka was illegally signing autographs, they would have been hands-on on that.
Oh, absolutely. But if this was 5 years ago, they would have dove right into it.
Oh, my gosh.
And I will say one more thing. Barry Odom, who you mentioned, the UNLV head coach, if there is one head coach in college football who's going to become the next on the list of guys to leave for a better job and for more money, it's Barry Odom. And what did he have to say about Matthew Sluka?
Nothing.
It's a money grab.
Yeah.
All right, well, you're going to be grabbing at a ton of money next year, so I'd like to see what he says after he gets a new contract.
He's just trying to get back to that Mizzou SEC level, which didn't work out for him, but we'll see. He's Keagan Stiefel. Keegs, this was a fun one. I'm George Balekji. This is Foxborough Rush. Wherever you get your podcasts, please like, subscribe, download, rate, and review. Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime. Go to Nesson's YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We're on Twitch as well. Follow Keagan and myself, too, on all social media channels, along with Nesson, X, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we're there. We'll see you guys. Have a good weekend.